team at Aviterus Public Opinion Research, Waters Tax Service, LA Councilmember Heather Hutt, the Empowerment Congress, Wallace and Renee Fortuné, the IQ Air Foundation, Dr. Kenneth Arduna and Central Neighborhood Christian Health Clinics, LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ambassador Michael A. Lawson, Ambassador Charles R. Stiff, and Attorney John E. Sweeney. Congratulations, Tavis, on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
What I guess they call themselves incels, involuntary celibates. When all this stuff went down, when this guy drove his car into a group of people, it's a horrible tragedy. One of the things that you talked about with incels is that, and this was a part of the what was it? It was a New York Times hit piece.
Yeah.
You said one of the cures for this is enforced monogamy. Mm-hmm. People decided, and I had never heard that term before, quite honestly, and I was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? It's a psychological term, and what it means is enforced by culture, that it is a good value.
Monogamy, yeah, because
Right.
polygamous societies tend to become ultra-violent.
Yeah.
And that's been known in the anthropological literature for 100 years. And certainly leftist anthropologists were among those who discovered it. Like, the journalist knew perfectly well what I meant by enforced monogamy. She's not stupid.
You use it as if everybody would understand it because you're an intellectual and because you're a professor and this is what you do.
It was also two...
Wait, he said polygamous societies, according to the anthropological record, tend to become violent. Think about it. Booty meant wealth, money. You got a bunch of wives, that's a lot of booty. And typically, after a war, after a fight, you're going to take the wives. Yikes. Wow. That's crazy. According, that was Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan. Let me get my brother Rogish son back on the line from Dallas, Texas. Give me your final thought, my friend.
I think when it comes to within the U.S., the environment of cis and relations being like strained, because it don't seem like it's set up for families. It seems like it's more set up for personnel. And that's eventually how people start interacting with one another. It was kind of like a digitized state even before they started digitization.
But Rogish, you got to remember this too. Let's be honest, brother. Please, let's be honest. Men who are unhealed use marriage as an extension of power over the woman. Let's just be honest.
True. That is true. That is true.
Because listen, because
don't know how to meld with them.
If I marry you, you on my program, get down with the plan, follow my lead, and that would be fine and good if we were actually going to therapy, if we were actually doing the internal work and healing our insecure attachment style. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So when I'm listening to the red pill folk that you was talking about, many of them do talk about spiritual mindfulness, taking a break from women, getting into yourself, up-leveling your spirit. But when you look at the masses of men who are probably attracted to their content, I don't think they take that message away. They're basically saying we feel that we've been disempowered in our position as a man. And I've always said, just because you're a man doesn't make you a great leader to every woman, not even to yourself. Relationships is about self-conquering, not conquering the woman and making her obedient to you. We will even take the Bible. See, the Bible said, bend the knee, woman. Bend it. Bend it. If you're a good woman, you bend.
Wow.
Am I lying? So men think.
But look, that's if you want to be a tyrant over your woman, though. But if your woman's your compliment, and the way that you describe the cats that they're reaching, no, that's actually the polarity of the hub of the black manosphere.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? That's how they rock. The thing is, it seems like you said, they're definitely hurt. The fact that they call themselves the educated lame or something like that. It's like, well, okay, you don't get to call women into an accountability. They don't understand the type of accountability they're trying to call women into is a wife accountability. Are you trying to wife any of these women who you're trying to shoot this accountability to while you're dating them?
But let me push back a little bit. I would say more than a wife accountability, I would say a person accountability. And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes people get to hide behind terms. Well, I'm not your wife, so I don't have to be accountable. Wrong. Good people are accountable whether they are designated as husband or wife or not. Just good people are accountable for whatever it is they do that hurt other people. And so when we specify wife or husband, we get, it's a slippery slope because now I get to hide. It's the same thing that men and women do with regards to the gender roles. Listen, you want me to be serious about you, brother? How much you got in your 401k? What does your next 5 years look like? What are the plans? How can you afford another baby? Are you on child support? You're like, the business comes in. Because all of that, you see what I'm saying? All of that is under the definition of gender roles, right? Man, protect, and provide. Now, if you got a lot of barnacles on your credit report, do you see? You might not be as attractive. Like there's a bump on your credit report.
A little bit. A little bit.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. That's important. So don't put a specific word on it because people get to hide and say, well, because we're not at that level, I don't have to be a good person. And that's what we want to avoid, both men and women, correct?
I can dig it.
Man, I appreciate you for calling in. This was a great call, brother. You more than welcome to call in anytime you see fit, brother. You hear me?
Keep rocking, man. Love learning from you. Much respect to y'all out there in Cali. Y'all be well.
Yes, sir. We staying in Texas. We've been in Texas the whole show. Let me get Reggie from Austin, Texas. Reggie, my brother, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, shareophobia is new. It's a new term for me.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy,
I need your help. I need your help in breaking it down because what I've taken to be true before added to this kind of confuses me. If happiness is based on what's happening, and what's happening has something to do with the things or the elements that we can control, then based on that thinking, shareophobia seems like it's pretty logical. Like happiness is inherently fleeting. It never stays. It always goes. So if it always goes, that would make me fearful of having it, wouldn't it?
The power of now. Eckhart Tolle. The past. I have a fear of repeating the failures of the past. The future. Another type of fear. Anxiety. Oh, God, I hope it don't turn out like this. The projection away from the now. Happiness is about right now. Right now. It always is. This is why Eckhart Tolle sold 30 million books for the power of now. Because spiritually speaking, this is why psychologists are pulling in mindfulness. Mindfulness centers you in the now. That's Krishnamurti's work.
Right.
Psychological knowledge is the problem. Because we can never get over something. We can never let something go. We always let the past and its toxicity seep back in. That's what the inner child is. The inner child is actually the past, the psychological past, sitting there saying, I got hurt at this point. Nobody heard me. Nobody saw me. So I'm living inside this adult picking their next partner. Do you see? So
yeah,
it makes sense, right? Cherophobia is the fear of happiness or of being happy and is often associated with the inability to cope with the sense of loss at the breakdown of a relationship. Now, when did that happen? The first relationship to ever break down for you was the family.
Okay.
Come
okay.
on.
I'm with you.
When you found out there was a moment where your mother gave up on you. I had that conversation with my biological mother when I was 30.
Wow.
You were just too busy. You was too busy. You was too bad. I just had to check out for a moment. But Mom, if you would have did this, I could have. Nah, man, it was too much going on. And I'm not saying every mother is like that, but what I'm saying is listen to what I'm saying, when you are in an environment that produces an insecure attachment style, chances are you will have an insincere relationship. Why? Because the anxious preoccupied is a people pleaser. Is he pleasing because he really just wants people to be pleased? Or is he looking for a payoff from the pleasing? That makes it insincere. You're not.
What if it?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What if he has seen some real terror, and he wants to please people because even if I can't be happy, I want you to be happy. It's coming from a different way. It's getting to the same thing, but it's coming from a different source.
But you have this is why attachment theory is so important. I said this before. I said instead of asking a person, "Hey, what was your part in the last 3 relationships that ended for you? Like, what was your part?" Most people haven't journaled all of that to tell you an itemized list of everything they did wrong in the last 3 relationships in order to establish some type of pattern of how they get down. Most people, as Attila said, are not that self-aware or self-reflective or self-mindful. Most people are not like that. But what you could do is say, "Hey, what's your attachment style?" And they say, "I don't know." You say, "Guess what? There's a test online you can take for free." Take the test. Comes back fearful avoidant. You start there. Is it okay if I ask you what happened? Is it okay if I ask you, You understand what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Yep.
Could you please let me in just a little bit if it's not too uncomfortable for you? Or whenever you get comfortable, I'll be the ear you might need to, confide in. It's a safe space. Dismissive avoidant. Oh, independence. Hey, you just let me know when you want to get together. It's up to you. Anxious preoccupied. What about tomorrow? Do you see what I'm saying? That's going to give you more information.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I need to know how to maneuver these attachment styles. I mean, identifying them is one thing, maneuvering them is another.
Just remember,
and that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just remember, each insecure attachment style has insecure attachment wounds. and how those wounds were. Listen, you can offend a fearful avoidant very quickly. Because, listen, fearful avoidance, dismissive avoidance, and anxious preoccupied, worthiness wounds, shame wounds, guilt wounds. Listen, whenever somebody is abused, they feel like they were responsible. That's why that's why they tell you don't shame the victim, right?
Yeah.
So the victim goes, God, I could have did something. No, you couldn't. This happened to you, not because of you, but they carry that with them. So imagine being in a relationship with them. You have to be very careful so as not to trigger the shame wound, the guilt wound. Do you understand?
Is there a way, I guess, the person could say, I know your heart, and I know you're not going to try to trigger that wound?
Nah.
I mean, because it seems like you're walking on eggshells at this point.
You are.
I don't want to do that, bro.
But what I'm saying is, if you love somebody, you kind of got to. And see, we live in a society that is psychologically illiterate. So out of that psychological illiteracy, what happens is, I shouldn't have to do that. Yes, you should. Yeah, and you should do it for yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? It makes you better at relating when you understand who you're dating, but more importantly, when you understand who you are and why you attract who you're dating.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. But most people, I shouldn't have to do none of this. Why? What? Wait a minute. This ain't what I signed. Yes, it is. Your soul is trying to reconcile your beginning. That's what relationships are for.
Yeah. I can't lie. Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah. It makes sense. Saying it like that and breaking it down piece by piece makes sense to me. Okay.
All right. I'm with you, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, Texas has dominated the phone lines. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got Shantae from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hold tight. When I come forward, I'm coming to you.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Check it out. Yo, 1992 begins a new age for soldiers, you know what I'm saying? The song, the flavors, the P-Funk, y'all. Get with it. Check it out. Check out a new type of gimmick, which is splendid. Sit shit down with, let's see if you're down with this. It's about strictly trying to you get the hang of it, you carry Sinachi bump. First of all, you get a fat bag of ism from uptown. Any local store, friend, purchase. Not the city of Philly, silly punk. I'm talking about the lick the don't have a razor blade.
Accepting that things can simply turn out good for you can be a difficult task, especially if you have a lot of cultural and psychological baggage in the way. Some seemingly simple and small things could interfere in our path to guilt-free happiness. Nowadays, the pressure of being happy or getting away with a good opportunity is enormous. To better understand what happens in our brain during a happy event and how we sabotage ourselves during the acceptance of a fortunate event, we talked with PhD Christine Bacho and got a few answers for these unsettling questions. According to one of your articles, people tend to associate guilt with certain pleasant events, but they can develop certain habits to maintain a positive mindset. You said being happy for the sake of others rather than for ourselves can break a cycle of anxiety and unhappiness. Could the feeling of empathy be associated with guilt-free happiness and create awareness within a community?
People may associate guilt with certain pleasant events because they feel it's unfair or inappropriate for them to be happy when others are suffering. When a loved one is battling a critical illness or has died in a tragic way, we might think being happy would be a sign of disloyalty. In a loving relationship, it's important to share your feelings and experiences, so we yearn to experience what they're experiencing in an effort to keep them beside us, even if it means sacrificing our own happiness. However, in a healthy relationship, each person wants the other to be content, so letting ourselves be happy is what our loved one would wish for. We may desire to suffer in their place, but of course that's not possible, so our role is to help them cope and bring happiness to them. By being happy for others and understanding the real value of joy, we can break the cycle of negative emotions. Happiness is more than a solitary experience. It's contagious.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR is back in the building, of course. We've got callers on the line. People want to talk tonight. This is a very interesting topic. We're going to zip over to North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. We got Shantae on the phone. Shantae, what are your thoughts?
Hey, Bill.
Hey, how are you? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
You want to know something? I had more so of a question, but I wanted to ask you about the last caller when you said to reconcile your beginnings. What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, we all come from some place. We're all born to an environment, and many people don't understand that environment imprints or encodes itself on our spirit, right? John Bowlby from the 30s to the 50s, and then from the 70s and 80s, you had Mary Ainsworth, right? they came up with a concept called attachment theory, right? The attachment style is what you get from your primary caregiver. So if you were born to an insecure environment, that environment and how your caregiver took care of you imprints on the child. So if you had, say, a covert narcissist or a self-love deficient mother, self-love deficient just means codependent mother, whatever was broken in her spirit gets imprinted on the child as an attachment style, right? So you got 4 attachment styles. Only one of them is secure. A secure attachment style is somebody who can deal with loss. They're going to be hurt, they're going to be sad, but they're not going to be forlorn forever, right? They can deal with breakups. They're going to be fine. The breakups make them better. They learn, they get better. They're securely attached because they had a securely attached or a secure primary caregiver is the term they use. Now, if that child was born in a situation where the primary caregiver neglected their emotions, kind of spiritually and nutritionally starved them of the emotional support they needed, they could form a dismissive, avoidant attachment style, which means I got to self-soothe. I got to make myself okay, right? Now, what's interesting about all these attachment styles, you carry them into your adult relationships. So imagine if you had a parent that didn't fulfill you emotionally. You had the emotionless provider. I'm going to make sure you have everything you need, but I'm not going to open up about, you know, my internal turmoil or things I go through and how I overcome them and how the struggles made me stronger and better. Say you didn't have a parent that would share that. They would just be like, don't worry about that. Stay out of grown folk business. And then when you wanted to express something, they shut your emotions down.
Yes.
Do you see? That could produce.
The last time we spoke,
Huh?
it was exactly that. The last time we spoke, it was exactly that, where I told you that my initials, SLD, self-love deficiency, and here we are again, because my question prior to the last caller.
Wait. Hold that question. We got to move forward, but I'm gonna come right back to you. I want you to think on this question, because as soon as I come forward, we're gonna ask you, okay? All right, cool. When we come forward, back to NC for some more information.
That's how you roll. That's all roll. The second paragraph might makes you laugh when a brother rolls his breath smell like dirt. That's when you know you gotta cause his breath has the dragon in the dungeon. Here's the lighter. I would've stop dripping with saliva. And if you're gonna lick it, don't try to with
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. There's reportedly another investigation going on into New York City Mayor Eric Adams' administration. Sources tell the New York Times the Manhattan DA's office is looking into the city's real estate leasing deals with commercial properties. The Times reports that investigators have seized phones from 5 people, and the investigation possibly centers around bribery and money laundering crimes. Mayor Adams, who is black, is already fighting unrelated federal bribery and illegal campaign contribution charges. South suburban Dalton, Illinois Mayor Tiffany Henyard is suing several village trustees. She's asking a judge to declare Village Hall as the primary place for conducting village business. Henyard, who is black, also wants meetings not held at Village Hall since September 3rd to be voided, as well as any ordinances passed. Earlier this week, a majority of trustees, the village clerk, and the village administrator took part in a meeting at the Park District. All are named as defendants in the lawsuit. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Blindster is a family-run business that began in 2010, and we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters and received over 100,000 five-star reviews. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Tavis Smiley on receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joseph R. Biden Jr. for a lifelong commitment to using his media and philanthropic platforms to help build a stronger nation. A host of Tavis's family, friends, colleagues, and luminaries, including LA Mayor Karen Bass, joined in the celebration. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to thank the following partners for their support: the Weingart Foundation, Dr. Shikari Byerly, Rodrigo Byerly, and the team at Aviterus Public Opinion Research, Waters Tax Service, LA Councilmember Heather Hutt, the Empowerment Congress, Wallace and Renee Fortuné, the IQ Air Foundation, Dr. Kenneth Arduna, and Central Neighborhood Christian Health Clinics, LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ambassador Michael A. Lawson, Ambassador Charles R. Stiff, and Attorney John E. Sweeney. Congratulations, Tavis, on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Chevy, all the things 2024 Truck Season Radio 30, code GWMR0294000.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
That morning chill means truck season!
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
It's Chevy Truck Season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/24.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown. I want you to go to lesbrownpowertour.com. On October the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this weekend, we will be at the Airport Marriott, teaching people the techniques and strategies on how you can begin to live your dream right now. Many people have the ability to do more, but unfortunately, they're trying to open new doors with old keys. We're going to teach you how to monetize your brilliance with one of the speakers. We have a lady who was once a gas station cashier, and she's now a billionaire, and she's going to share her knowledge. I'm going to share with you how to tell your story, how to present yourself, and how you can earn millions of dollars with your wisdom and your experiences. October the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this weekend. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com. It's going to change your life. Spread the word. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com this weekend in LA at the Marriott at the airport. This is your moment. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Flip mode. 9-7. Bust a bus. Hot. Check it out. Hit your
with no delaying. So what you saying, yo? Silly with your ice grilly with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club like we while in the studio. You know when to violate, baby, really and truly, yo. My main thug, Bill and Julio, he moody, yo. Type of brother that'll slap you with the tulio. Real shook, scared to death, act fruity, yo. X that, look at shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way she shake it make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. Top mistress of the banging misses and videos. While I'm with my freak like we up in the freak shows. Hit you with this shit, make you feel it all in your toes. Hot shit, got all my people in red clothes. Tell them my metaphors when I formulate my flows. If you don't know, you're messing with lyrical player pros. Like you really wanna party with me? Let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands where my eyes can see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands where my eyes can see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be.
Hi, Dr. Janice Webb here, author of Running on Empty and Running on Empty No More. And I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about how growing up with your emotions under-responded to, which is the definition of childhood emotional neglect, affects you once you grow up and start a romantic relationship and try to have a long-term relationship or a marriage.
Pause. I'm sorry, but the profundity in what your emotions as a child were under-responded to. My God. You're gonna go into an adult relationship expecting them to supplement what you didn't get in early childhood. That is a foundational understanding in attachment theory. Start it from the top. I want to hear that one more time. That was just powerful.
Hi, Dr. Janice Webb here, author of Running on Empty and Running on Empty No More. And I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about how growing up with your emotions under-responded to, which is the definition of childhood emotional neglect, affects you once you grow up and start a romantic relationship and try to have a long-term relationship.
Pause it one more time. My God. I'm not trying to belabor the point, but just understand, okay, that's when you started to believe love ain't enough. That's when you got to prove it to me, because nobody proved it to you back then. That's when these became major deal breakers in your adult relationship. Show me what wasn't shown. My God. The level of expectation you have for other people to provide emotionally for you is astronomical to me. One more time from the top. I'm sorry.
Hi, Dr. Janice Webb here, author of Running on Empty and Running on Empty No More. And I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about how growing up with your emotions under-responded to, which is the definition of childhood emotional neglect, affects you once you grow up and start a romantic relationship and try to have a long-term relationship or a marriage. Childhood emotional neglect, growing up with your feelings basically under-responded to by your parents, meaning maybe they ignore them or minimize your feelings. What it teaches you is to wall off your feelings and hide them, not only from other people, but also from yourself. And this is a big problem because one of the greatest resources that every good long-term relationship needs is the full and present feelings of each member of that couple. So most people who grow up with childhood emotional neglect end up with their spouse telling them that something is missing or something is wrong in the marriage, and they don't understand what the problem is because it's two good people trying to make a relationship work. But basically, here are some problems that arise and that might be going on in this kind of a relationship, especially if you both grew up emotionally neglected, but even if it's just one of you. First, your feelings are walled off from your partner, and your partner feels it. You may feel it too. Second, you're not aware of what you want and need, so you're not very good at expressing those things to your partner. Third, You may end up over-attending to your partner's wants and needs because you're out of touch with your own and because you learned that their feelings are more important than yours when you were growing up. Fourth, you lack the skills that you need in order to express your feelings to your partner, especially if there's any negativity involved. And that's because your family didn't know how to do it, so they couldn't teach you. And number five is you may have a tendency to avoid conflict because conflict involves strong feelings, and that is threatening and scary to people with childhood emotional neglect. So what do? Turn
Pause.
things around.
She just described dismissive avoidant. She just described fearful avoidant. The people-pleasing, the overcompensation, anxious, preoccupied. She described them all. This is where love isn't enough comes from. This is where love doesn't last. So why get involved? It's going to leave like everything else. If you had an emotionally inclement environment in early childhood, I'm not going to invest in a relationship with another person when the foundation of where I come from was emotionally inclement or malnourished. That's what, you know, that experience casts the mold. Hence, as Attila just pointed out, anti-monogamous beliefs. I could do it by myself. I don't need anybody. I'm good. Or I need distance. Or I don't have the capacity to be with you the way you need me to be with you. Let it finish. I'm sorry.
To people with childhood emotional neglect. So what do? Turn things around. Stop blaming each other. Take the blame out of it. It's no one's fault. Not yours, not your partner's. Number two, make a pact to start paying attention to feelings and trying to talk about them and use feeling words together. Those two things alone can make a big difference.
Man, do you know how scary people are having these conversations with these type of wounds? The conversation themselves, like just the idea, let's have the talk, creates anxiety for many people. I better have this talk or I'll lose them. Which one is scarier, losing them or loving them? Ooh. Let's get our caller back in here. Shantae, talk to us.
Hey, so I'm listening and I'm loving it because from what I asked you and what you played just then, I am all of those things, all five, all into one. And my original question was, as far as relationship goes, how do I know I'm going through growing pains or I've outgrown the relationship?
Well,
and as I listen, I'm going through growing pains, thinking that I'm growing tired of something because of self-love deficiency. So I try to please other people, and when I see that that's not working, I don't have it for myself either. So then I become very standoffish because that's my approach anyway. We don't have to dwell on anything. Let's just move on. We got things to do. So I'm dismissive as well. But it's a conundrum.
Yeah, and I hear it. Let me just say this, like, to know that you're growing is to be in discomfort, right? When everything in your intimate environment is known and understood, you're at a standstill. When you are uncomfortable, you're outside of your comfort zone, and thus there is an opportunity to grow. Now, oftentimes, growth is scary, especially for people with insecure attachment styles. This is not comfortable. I don't want to do it. I'm triggered, right? And for many people who haven't really gotten on this self-awareness healing journey, to be triggered is something to be avoided, right? We're trying to, this is uncomfortable, let's move back to the comfort zone. The comfort zone is like a luxury apartment, but it's really a cage. It's really a prison. But because we've adorned the bars with velvet and we have a day bed in there and we have a ceiling fan and a shower and a little mini kitchen, we done made the prison suite that we're in, right?
My stuff is set.
Right. We made it. I got everything I need right in this little cage. But
yes, sir.
If you want to grow, you have to find like this inner resilience. And this is something that you can practice. You can build it up. And there are many ways to do it. There are all types of self-care methodologies where you can yoga and all of this stuff. But the reality of it is at some point you're going to have to sit down with you and confront where you came from. You got to untangle all of those knots and ultimately realize this is not me. This happened to me. I don't have to be governed by what wasn't given. I don't have to be governed by what wasn't given. Oftentimes, we blame the parent when we become adults. You never did this for me, and you never did that. And we have a gripe, and we want to express it. And that's fair. But if we really think on it before we confront our parent, just think on it. Oh, my mother is a work in progress. Still, to this day. She did the best she could with what she had. A lot of people don't like that. But seeing that we're not time travelers, and we can't reverse time and go back to that moment and go, Mom, this is that moment where you broke everything in me. We can't do that. So ultimately,
me and my sister have differences on that because she feels that way, and I'm like, just let it go. I'm that dismissive point where she say that I don't, absolutely look at everything that has happened, and I'm like, well, it happened. So what? We never went without. What's the point?
So I'll come back. Dr. Mark Goulston said it the best. In order to truly get over something, you have to learn how to move on without the apology that was never given.
Right.
Do you know how difficult that is for so many people?
It breaks my heart, but that's where I'm at.
But you have to embrace the broken heart. As a form, people think growing feels good. No, not growing feels good. Listen to how I'm saying. Did you hear me tonight? Not growing feels good. It's like the frog in the beaker. You put the frog in the beaker and you gradually turn the heat up. The frog will not jump out. It'll die in the beaker. It'll get cooked in the beaker. You just gradually turn the heat up. That frog ain't going nowhere. He'll just be looking at you, looking at him cook. Our comfort zones are like that. If we want to expand and grow, we have to put ourselves in uncomfortable, psychologically, emotionally driven situations. This is why we have to have tough conversations. But we're having the tough conversation to go over the content, not to force an apology out, not to force. You get what I'm saying? Oftentimes, yes, the way we communicate is like, I need you to say you were wrong.
Right.
No, I need you to share your
That's
feelings.
Not true.
It's
right.
like, no, I need you to share your feelings about what happened. I'm not looking for right or wrong. I'm not looking to condemn you. I'm not looking for justice in that way. Because if we're having an open, real, serious conversation where there's love and appreciation for one another, you're going to offer me the apology because your spirit is rising to that occasion. Not my urgency, not me urging you.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Stay right there. Don't leave, Shantae. When we come forward, more fire from the Voice of Reason.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, just call 687-246-9655 to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit ca-smp-volunteer.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attention, all you niggas, all you niggas. Time to put down the crystal, time to take off the ice for a minute. Time to throw a little mud. Turn me up, son. Yeah. Yo, give me some room, I'm throwing elbows. Timberland boots, Air Force, and shell toes. Who the still? If I got it.
Yo, the voice of reason back in the building. You already know what it is. This show flew by. I love the callers, especially the one that's on the phone right now. Shantae, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Give me your final thoughts on tonight's show. I hope I was able to help you navigate through a few things.
Oh, you know you always do. And as I'm on my journey, I'm still journaling. I'm getting to the point of, I guess, unmasking my veil. The things that I were afraid to look at on myself that I lend to relationships and my day-to-day life. That villain, so to speak.
That's what makes you fresh. You know, let me say, this is what makes you really fresh as a person. Because the opposite of self-love deficient is self-love. And you unveiling like you say, you're pulling this veil back. That is an act of self-love. Please tell me more about it.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm on a journey. I'm looking better, feeling better, even dressing up a little more because I wasn't liking what I saw in that mirror. But the more that I learn myself and get reacclimated to a lot of things and absolutely dealing with it head on and not masking it, I'm learning so much more that I didn't even know things that hurt me because I just dismissed them as, oh, well, things happened, so what? I got to keep going. Never knowing how much those things were holding me back from growing.
That's why I keep telling folk, the hurt from your original home will follow you home.
Yeah. And I'm getting there and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
That's why I had to ask was, did the Cash App go through? Because I told you, you're going to be my therapist. I know you paid as many before you.
No. But we appreciate you. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm almost there. I'm not ready. I'm still studying. I'm not quite ready, but I'm studying. I appreciate you, though.
Absolutely. And you have a wonderful show as always. Always fire.
Thank you. You already know we've been all over the country tonight having this conversation. And I'm just going to say it again, man. It's difficult to love yourself when you're running from yourself. Tonight's topic was really about self-avoidance. Right? We talked about the different attachment styles, insecure attachment styles, but on a spiritual level, to avoid oneself is to avoid this repository of knowledge, self-awareness, right? And when we say self-awareness, we're not talking about the little self, the ego. We're talking about the divine self that is in tune with you, the little self. Now, if you want to transcend it, this is what, Paramahansa Yogananda calls self-realization, or Buddha, moksha, Krishna, nirvana, right? To be able, Christianity, God, Christ consciousness, to be able to rise to that level of consciousness, you have to be totally and fully self-aware of the little self, the egoic self, as well as the higher self, the divine self. But many people don't believe that the divine self is real because they were born in such a low state. What do you mean a low state? The low state of pain, right? We've called pain a low state. But if you notice, pain is always with us, even as we evolve, even as we rise. And eventually we're going to get to a point where we realize that pain isn't a low state. It's an indicator that the work is being done or needs to be done. Where there's a lack of pain, there's a lack of progress. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that is, in fact, the truth. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. That's my week. I'll see you next week with another slapper. Love y'all. Deuces.
Yeah. Break your freaking neck, boy. Yeah. Here we go now. Where we going now? Give it away now. Give it away now. Just give it away.